is it New Year belated year 2021. This is our first webinar. And due to public demand, and I think following the schedule that we had last year, we are now on the automation that we are starting now. I think I'll just begin quickly by giving an intro of our speaker today. So we have Danny Afahunko, who is an open source advocate and IT passionate. He has accumulated over 15 years of experience in the IT industry and has been part of the most influential companies in IT, namely Afrinic. So basically, if you have been able to participate in Afrinic gatherings, either physical or virtual, you should have met Danny somehow he has been part of most of the influential companies in IT, namely Afrinic, as system engineer and the world market leader in open source Red Hat France as cloud architect. So a disruptor by nature, Danny's ideology is to change the way IT is perceived. His mission is to break down the complexity of IT and make it accessible for everyone in Africa through education. He is actively engaged in training and capacity building, leading in the network management track at AFNOG. AFNOG has a couple of tracks, and I think they are also the way we have been arranging in terms of KeNOG. We have routing and switching, systems and whatever. But now he participates in the network management track when it comes to AFNOG. So Danny has been volunteering at AfriSat to automate open source tooling for incident response teams. And at the same time, Danny is CEO and founder of Cloud Inspire. So Danny, I think without taking much of your time, you can be able to unmute yourself and then probably project your presentation and pick up from there. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you all for being here. As Simon say, I'm a network and system cloud architect, working for more than 50 years on cloud computing. And one of my main target, my main goal is to build Africa Cloud. Africa Cloud will be a cloud computing solution for Africa that will promote education, networking, and also promote local talent in Africa. So one of the main part of this project is automation, how we can break down complexity and make it accessible, available for everyone to do and to reduce the workload and focus more on the added value task. And as I say, I've worked like system engineer at Afrinic, building up a lot of system, working on critical services, and also like a cloud architect at Red Hat France. And one of the mission that I've been exposed to is to make things easier and to make it available so we can repeat again the task without breaking down the system even we are going to production. And I'm here today to give you a brief introduction about Ansible. Ansible, I can't share my screen. Hold on, okay, yeah. Give me a second, let me share my screen. Yeah, and I'm here today to talk to you more about Ansible. And can you all see my screen or not?
Yes, okay.
Yes.
Cool. Then we'll try to keep it brief, but Ansible itself is a big topic, but we'll try to keep it short and we'll go to the main point. And today it will be an introduction about how Ansible works and how it designed the modules, the task, and how we can launch Ansible and using the features and functionality within Ansible. And at the end of this this tutorial, we will have a hands-on workshop, but we try to keep it short. We don't have enough space, enough room to do that, but we try to make it available for everyone. And then what is the Ansible? What we can do with Ansible? As you know, in the industry of IT, people face issues, and most of the action they used to do first is to automate. When we encounter an issue, we try to automate. Why are we going to automate? We are going to automate for the cost effectiveness, to reduce the activity and effort in the repetitive actions. That's why people are automating. For the time saving, it's also important to spend less time in doing the same routine. If you used to do a deployment that costs you 1 day, I'm sure you will not be happy to do the same action every day in your business activity. You will try to save it, to reduce it to the maximum. We also need to automate, to be more focused on our core business and enhance our efficiency, reduce the enterprise costs, and be more focused on the core activity, the core business of the company. That is also one action, one step in the need of automation. And also we need to be accurate and consistent in the operation. Why it is also important to make sure that when we deploy an action or when we automate something, to make sure that it can be repeated the same way without losing stuff, without breaking things, because it has been documented, it has been automated the same way. And then it's also reduce the employee turnover. And this one is about the employee happiness. So if you employ someone to do the same task again, I'm not sure he will last very long in your company. So if he can be more useful doing what he wants to do and delegate all the repetitive routine tasks to the automation system, it will be easier. And then teams are automating. So you have the network team, the security team, the operational, the developer, the infrastructure, the line, business, they are all automating. And sometimes they are not. Unfortunately, they are not all in the same way. But automation is a process. And then you can see in the company, automation is happening in silo. We can have the security team that will develop their automation tool in their do-it-yourself scripting language. You can have developers that will be used with Ansible. The network guys will use a proprietary vendor supply automation tool. We can have the operation that they will have the bash to some bash scripting to automate their routine. And then we can have the infrastructure team, they can use Terraform to do their automation. But what's wrong with doing automation in silo? There's no cohesion. There's no way of leverage the company benefits, because some action can be shared across the team, but it will be deployed at every single level because they are using different languages and different philosophy. That's why it's important to have something that can federate, can use all the different tooling, but using one platform that will concentrate all the philosophy, all the process, but can still use the different item in silo, but use something consistent. That's why Ansible comes into place. Ansible will be something very simple. It will be readable for everyone. That's what it is written in YAML. YAML is a way of writing a document, and it doesn't require a specific knowledge to understand how is it about. It is easy to read, easy to understand, and you can go to production very easily, very quickly. It is powerful because it will use a powerful orchestration, mechanism to talk with different tenant, with different tools that you have already deployed. And also it can also be useful to automate as well as the network part, as well as the application part, as well as the development part. So you can have something that can talk to different aspects of your system. And you can also manage the life cycle of your infrastructure. And then what is also important and that makes Ansible very cool, it is agentless. So you don't need to deploy an agent on different, let's say, components to be able to talk with those components. It uses SSH or WinRM for the Windows machine, and almost all components, all servers, all devices are available through SSH or through this protocol. So once the system is available through this protocol, Ansible can talk with this platform. We can even go further to use Ansible to talk with local machine that is connected to a device, to use it at the, even if the SSH is not available, but if one machine has the SSH is connected to this machine, yeah, you can still have a bridge to using your this machine like a bridge to this device who is not available through SSH directly. So it is also one item that is so powerful using Ansible. And then with Ansible, what can we do? We can deploy all our infrastructure from the beginning to the end to end, let's say. So with Ansible, we can do orchestration, configuration management, application deployment, provisioning, continuous delivery, security, and compliance on your firewalls, on your load balancer, on your application, on your containers, your cloud, your servers, your infrastructure, your storage, at least everything. So the platform will be link all the different teams together to work in using this platform. So will have the network team, the security team, the operation team. They will all federate and work using this platform to automate their tasks, because it will orchestrate all their running code to do the deployment, to manage their network, to manage their infrastructure, to manage the application. But you have one central point that will take into account all the constraints of your different team. Also, it will help you as well to be something that is cross-platform, even cross-team. And those are the items that Ansible can manage and control. As you can see, the list is very large and it is not yet complete here. It's extremely large. I would like to say with Ansible, you can do almost everything. From the cloud to the private cloud, to the operation system, to your storage, to your network, Windows machine, your security appliance, your documentation tool, and as well as your monitoring platform. Yeah, you can almost control everything using Ansible. So it is possible by design. Then what we will cover next, it will be how Ansible is designed, and then you will see why it is also how it works and how Ansible can do the infrastructure automation. So as you can see, the Ansible engine is a couple of items that we will break down later on. So you have the inventory, the CLI, the modules, and the plugins. We will come on those items later on. And then on the ecosystem will be the user, the DevOps guy or the engineer or your different team, they will write what we call a playbook to interact with Ansible Engine to monitor, to talk with your public cloud or your private cloud or your host or even your network devices. Some information can be fed or retrieved directly from your CMDB or even from your private or public cloud like inventory. So the system can build and provision infrastructure that can be also, at the same time, it will be the source of its information to retrieve the list of information or servers that has been provisioned. So you build, you retrieve information of servers that you have provisioned. So it's kind of a rolling system. So the playbook are written in YAML. The YAML it is only kind of documentation saying that, okay, this is how I'm going to do my deployment. You orchestrate step by steps. And then this is where you call your modules and all your items. So this is an example of how YAML looks like. So it is simple. As you can see, you can all read it very easily. So it's like install and start Apache. So I want to run it on the web, on the host called web. Will come up later on. It is only a way to say I want to become root to do that. So the tasks are what? So the name is HTTP package is present. Yum, for what people who are familiar with Fedora or CentOS, is only say Yum it is a package manager. So I can say I want to install using Yum a package called HTTP, and I want the state is latest. So I want to store the latest version of HTTP on this machine. As you can see, it is easy to read. And after that, I want to, the module is template. So I want to copy this template from this location, the source, to this destination. And then at the end, I want to make sure that my HTTP service has been started. So yeah, you have almost written an Ansible playbook. Modules are kind of toolkit. Modules are the item, as I showed you, called template. You can have copy. You can have it's like action you want to do on your device or on your infrastructure on your playbook. It is only kind of action. And then you have the plugin. The plugins are quite important as well. So it will help you to tweak the normal behavior and change it and apply something else to it to make sure that if I'm retrieving the information, if I want to extract one part of the item, let's say I'm retrieving the list of the IP addresses of one machine and want to extract only the IP address of the main internet devices. So I can apply a plugin to that command to retrieve only one information, or I can even change the structure of the information I'm collecting. So the inventory is like the list of the machine that you want to interact with. So it's also one of the important items using Ansible. It is, or like I say, this is my inventory. I have the web server, I have my database servers, I have my switches, I have my firewall, I have my load balancers. And this is my inventory. So when you call Ansible and you apply this inventory to it, it should be able to talk with the machine that you have listed. This one, it is a static inventory, but we can go that further and have something dynamic. This is why I call you can retrieve information from your provider, from your cloud solution provider, or even to your device or your hypervisor and say, I don't know yet the list of machine that you have, but you will tell me what are the list of the machine that you have, then I can talk with them. It's also something possible, and we call this one a dynamic inventory. And then you have your cloud solution, your OpenStack, your Amazon, your Google Engine, your VMware, and all your cloud provider solution. And the CMDB is a service now. You have Cobbler, you have your custom CMDB. The hosts are your devices, your platform, your network device, your application. Yeah, it is your target physically, your target physically. And then using Ansible, you have more than 150 module, more than. And then with that, you can automate everything on Linux or even on Windows. You can have a look at Ansible.com, get started. And what you require, it is only Python 2.6 or later. But now we recommend to use Python 3 because Python 2 is deprecated. If there's a question, you can stop me, Michelle or Simon, to. And then, yeah, let's go further. Ansible automation infrastructure will look like if you want to interact with network devices, all the code are executed locally, and then the code are being we target the different network devices. This is what we have the first local execution, and then you target your network devices. But if it's something you want to do on the Linux on Windows host, so the code will be copied on the machine, and it will be run from the machine itself. What we'll cover here, it's inventory. We'll try to keep it short because we don't have much time. And what we have in the inventory, we have static inventory, group, and variables. Inventory, as I showed you before, are YAML or INI or JSON based. So they are static file, or they can be dynamic using the CMDB information coming from CMDB or even from your cloud provider. It can have multiple groups, and then you can have on those groups variables, or even on those host variables. We'll come up with variables later on. After you understand why we need variables on the groups or even on the host later. So this is kind of information. I say I have a static inventory example. My servers are listed there. Boom, simple. And then what I can say, it is, I can say that, as you can see here, you have the app1 servers that are listed over here. And then I can have a web and use the, let's say, the regex to say, I want the node to start from 1 to 30. And then this is how the Ansible host is the variable that will also link this name to the IP address. So I can name my inventory using any kind of name, but I need to make sure that my IP or the host name it is accurate. Either I don't specify Ansible host, and I have to make sure that my running my controller node where I used to where I want to run my playbook or my Ansible should be able to resolve the name that I've written. If not, I need to specify Ansible host. And then for machine, I can also specify a variables called Apache listen on the port, and then Apache route path, and specify different category for a group of hosts, or even for a host itself. Why is important? It is important to have such a breakdown to make sure that I can address my platform in production at the same way I'm addressing the platform in the development part, as well I'm addressing my platform in the pre-prod. And then what will change will be only the IP addresses and then the variables that are being put in place. That makes something consistent between my deployment against my development platform, my production platform, as well as my pre-production platform. So I can have the same deployment, the same playbook, but the variable will be different and have the same way to debug. If something breaks, I will not go to production if I know that something has been broken in the sandbox or in the pre-production. Here, those are the variables that I've been going through. And then, yeah, you can have also some groups and some, some subgroup group, if you can say that. What is also important, it is Ansible config file. The Ansible config file is a kind of a file that will define the behavior of Ansible when you want to run Ansible. It is called ansible.cfg. This file can be, have a precedence of where it will located. Ansible will fetch for this file when you run Ansible. It will go first to a environment variable. If it's not, it will go through the current directory to look at this file. If this file is not present, it will go to the user home directory to look for .ansible.chg. If this file is not present, so it will go globally to see on the host itself, etc ansible.cfg. So this is where Ansible installed by default, the Ansible CFG. If you install Ansible by command line, yum install Ansible or apt-get install Ansible. So we have also what we call add commands. The add command is the command we want to launch once and want to run a complete playbook. It is something we just say, I want to launch a ping. This ping is not the ICMP ping. It is a ping to test if my machine, it is reachable, or if Ansible can talk to this machine. So you can say Ansible ping all, and you call the module ping, and that's it. Here, it is an example of Ansible ping, and you can see it calls, and you have the ping, and you have the answer pong. You can see all the Ansible command using Ansible help to see all those information that you need to do when you want to run Ansible. And then you have the main args make parameters are modules called that -m, the A for the modules args, the B to become a root when you're launching, and then the -e for the extra vals. The extra vals are the key value, or can be YAML or JSON. And then here you can see Ansible all -m ping to ping to check if the host is available. And then you can also launch the command called Ansible web on the web specifically, and call the command, and then the args is uptime. So to launch the command uptime on this machine called web. And then you can also do the fact, collect the fact by using the module called setup. So how the playbooks will look like? The playbooks will be, as I show you, a list of the modules of the action you want to complete, task you want to complete. So this is the playbook. All those items, are the playbook. And then you have the task. This is where it is one action. So it is yum install HTTP state present. And then you have the module called yum, and you have the module called template, you have the module called service. And then those are the most main color when you are launching Ansible. Green, when everything is fine, no change. Orange, when you have something has been changed or something happened. And then you have the red when it is a failure and it's not working like expected. Then you have the example of how Ansible playbooks after the run will look like. Everything fine, it is green. If there's a change, it will be orange. If there's no red, that means that there's no error. So we are going to view the facts and the variables. So as you can see, those are how the variables are the double bracelets, and then you have vars 2, and then vars 1, and those are the variables. And then if you want to call the variables, you just need to use this the 2 semi bracket, and then you have it. And then if you call this one, you have the print Ansible is answer. The facts are like a variables, but it comes from the machine itself. Those are quite important if you want sometime to do some action, or you want to check if the machine is it has you want to collect information from the machine before applying some action on it. So Ansible can gather the fact from the machine, and then can use those facts to interact with the machine itself. I can say if the machine has this name, don't do that, because those machines are production machine only. If the machine, it is an Ubuntu, just do that because it is a Ubuntu machine. If it is a Red Hat, just do that because I know that I can gather this information from the machine. And that's why it's also important to be able to look at the facts. And I can, if I want to do some action as well about the IP address, I can get the information about the IP of the internet, let's say, interface of the machine itself, to see if it is etc ETH0 or ENS3, ENS2, or whatever. So to collect the fact, it is only, you just need to use the module called setup, and that's it. So Ansible localhost module setup. And then you can combine the facts and the variables to build your, your file or your template, or to do your action. So in this example, we can see that I can collect information about the IP address, and then set some information and have a generated configuration file for the internet device, for the, as I say internet, for the network device for the machine. And then the variables are being set in kind of precedence. So from the 1, you have the highest preference, and then the 16, you have the default one. So we will not go through all those one. We come up in on it later on, or if you want to be expert in Ansible, yeah, this is something you have to dig into. So based on where you are placed, you are putting your variable, it can be overridden by another one if it is set in this list. The variable are based on the groups and items. We will not go through all those details. We will come up on it later on. And then what is also important is the conditional, the handler, and the loops. So let's say for the conditional, I want to perform an action if something occur, or if something is true. And I say install Apache using yum if it is CentOS. If it's not CentOS, just use apt-get. So this is how kind of a condition I want to you can use when you are using your your playbook. And then the condition is when, and then you can mention many conditions as well. If it is Red Hat, and if it is the version is it is 7, and if the minor version is 2, and if the user who is running it is not the root, or is the one of a person who doesn't belong to the right team, just cancel it, just avoid this one. Yeah, you can do whatever you want if by using the when condition. So based on the distribution of the platform, you can use Apache to HTTP. So those packages are different based on the distribution. And the handler are kind of action to that you trigger if something change. Is like after changing the configuration of my Apache, I want to reload my web server. So you need to notify a service or an action saying that after doing all my changes, please restart my Apache. So that's why you need a handler to do such action. So the handler are quite simple. You call handler, and then you specify the name of the service and then the action that need to be performed using the module. And that's it. So what is important also cool with the handlers is like the handler will not be executed every time you are calling it. After the entire playbook, they will be executed or they will be run only once. That's why it is important to to use the handler instead of doing the handler by by yourself, by doing such action like just do it when the result has changed as the way it is here. The loops are also important to just reduce the way you are writing your code. If, for instance, you want to add 20 or the list of your admin in your system, you will not go through your individual user saying that create an account for user Danny, create an account for user John, create an account for user Smith, user Michuki. You will not do that. You just create a list and say, okay, for all those users in this list, just create the user using those parameters and those preferences, and that's it. So instead of having the same action again and again and again, you can just combine it in one action by using the loop. The variables and templates. I think, are we still on track or, on time or not?
Yes, we are. We can also try to speed up.
So let's go to the variables. The variables and templates are quite important as well. The templates are kind of uh, 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 template, as the name say, template to have a kind of a model for your system to be replicated. So you have a template of your web server of the configuration, and then you just change the some values using some the variables. And then if you can see for the web server, I will not have a different configuration for my web server from production platform as well as on pre-production, as well as on the development platform. The idea is to keep everything identical. So I will have only a template, but what will change will be only the port and then some specific parameters. So I have one template that I will use across my different platform, on pre-prod, on prod, and then sandbox. But what we change is only the port, the IP, the users, the group, all the information. So I can make sure that if my platform has been tested and work on pre-production, for sure it works as well on production. And I can go, I want to say, with a lot of gut or a lot of confidence in production without breaking something because it has been tested before. And then what is the role? The role are kind of a collection of tasks and handles in this kind of a package. You use this package to say, okay, instead of having a playbook written in different tasks, I can say I want to create one action that will handle my, let's say, my database server. So I create a role that will have all the action that are required to have my database server in the right way. So I can only call this role to apply to my device or to my database to have it fit to the strategy of the company. And it's also important if I want to share one of my work with a team or with a community, I will not share my playbook. The playbook is a bunch of tasks. I will only share a role to do a specific action. That's why it's important to at the end to summarize all your action into roles to tag them and give them a function. So if I can say to do my setup, I need to do some pre-checking my prerequisite. My prerequisite to require this. I put it in the role, and then I say after that, if I want to install my web server, this is how I'm installing my web server, and this is how I'm installing my database servers. That's why if I want to also to do a maintenance, I will not break my prerequisite because I'm doing a maintenance on my database, because I will work only on the database that will prevent me to break for instance, my application server or my other application, because I will work on the role specifically. If the role breaks, it will only the role concerning the specific task of the platform that I want to address. And then the role will look like this. And then the Galaxy is a way of working together to share content and have a community and share ideas, share talk, share comment, and share almost everything on Ansible. You have questions?
Yeah, Danny, I think yeah, we need to move on. Probably we have some 45 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Two questions. Sorry, let me just quickly read them out for you. There was a question from Evans for network automation. Is there any methods or tools deemed to be best practice?
Yeah, there's a best practice of doing the automation on the network. There's even the best practice about how to design to separate the different the way you are writing. I mean, you are writing your code. One item that is important is you need to keep your code clear, separated, and should be able to run with default values first. So the idea is to make sure that, okay, your code will not break if, because you are referring to a variables somewhere defined in the code where no one have a clue and have to debug and see where you are calling this variable from. So your code, if you are writing a module, should be clear enough to run with default values. And then you need to have your configuration file or your default or even your vars where all your variables need to be defined, clearly defined and clearly documented. So if someone takes your code, we know that, okay, by putting those values here and there, this is how it's going to impact your role to change such thing. That's one aspect. The second is when you are doing the network automation is to make sure that you are consistent in the way you are addressing your different environment, either in production or either in if you have a testing environment. You have to be aware that by doing Ansible, you need to make sure that it is automation. You need to make sure that everything should be, let's say, should be tracked. Because when you're automating, one item is also to be able to know exactly who is running the code. So you need to have a kind of a source code management, like a Git, Mercurial, or SVN, where you store all the code that you have that you have tested and make sure that this code is working. And then this is only the version of the code you will run on your production environment. So the idea is not to just write your code and then push in production. You need to write your code and test it and then push the code. The idea to have the source code management platform is to make sure that you will only pull the right version of the code that you have tested into production if you want to replay or redo your action. The one aspect as well is the idempotency. You should be able to run your code again and again and again without changing or without breaking stuff. That's why also Ansible will also help you to do that by using modules. You need to make sure that every time when you are using modules, you are consistent, and you should be put into a priority the way that you can run your modules or your playbook many times without changing stuff. Just adjust your infrastructure based on your compliance or based on your security requirements. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. I hope that was clear, Evans. If it's not, you could just post maybe follow-up questions. And there was another question from Peter. He asked, are you saying facts are retrieved from the actual host, in brackets, physical machine, or those facts are stored somewhere in the local host running the playbook?
Yeah, you can collect those facts independently. You can collect facts from your local host, or even you can collect also fact from your remote host as well. Then you can play with all those information. I mean, based on your need. You can assess those facts by using the variable. I think we have a chance to to look at it later on. Even you can also look at the facts that you have collected and do whatever you want to do. So the facts can be collected in the in the both way.
Okay. And finally, our last question is from Kevin. He says, for the different Ansible results, success, no change, success with change and error, is it possible to send notifications to different email addresses from Ansible?
Yeah.
Successful messages to one email and errors to another.
Yeah. You can have your notify. If you can say if everything is fine, just do this action. If it's not, just do this. So you can have some callbacks as well in the Ansible. But there you need to tweak the Ansible default configuration to make all those callback available. So by default, the callback there's no callback, but you can create a callback by adjusting the way you have the final action or the final output of your code. You can say if there's something happened, just notify this one, or yeah. At least you can combine Ansible with almost all the monitoring tools, all the notification tools that are in your company. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And maybe quickly for this one, could you maybe comment on Ansible Tower, maybe the difference or the benefits of using Ansible Tower?
Yeah. I didn't go through the Ansible Tower in this topic because the time is very short. It's really short. And then as Ansible itself is a big topic, is a huge topic. I try to keep it simple and brief. And Ansible Tower will be I want to say the safeguard of Ansible. And then what it will put in, as you can see, if you have in the community team, you have many users doing the Ansible, how can you make sure that Ansible is launched by the right person? How can you make sure that the code that is pushing into production on the different services are the right code? So to make sure that Ansible can be an element of success, or at the same time also a headache and it can bring a situation where it can pull down the company. So the same benefits equals the same risk. And then that's why Ansible Tower comes in. Ansible Tower, AWS, the community version, will be the safeguard where it will use the role-based access control to make sure that the right person are only the right only the person who are able to launch the code. And then it will also retrieve information from let's say your source code management platform, and we retrieve only the right version of the code that you have tested or been granted to be the one who should run on production. And then also what is so important, it will also keep a track of what has been launched, where it has been launched, what time, and what are the machine that has been affected by this play. That's why Ansible Tower comes in to put the enterprise level into the enterprise vision of the Ansible. Launching Ansible like engineers in the labs is cool, but when we are going to production or at enterprise level, it's also important to keep it straight and avoid anyone to just come and launch the play on the servers. Guess what? If, for instance, everyone has the key for your root servers, if his machine has been compromised, you can, I will let you imagine the damage that this machine can do on your entire production server. That's why Ansible Tower comes in, where all the keys are stored only in Ansible, but sometimes not in Ansible, on different server that can be a Vault or even a CyberArk or something where all the keys are safeguarded. And then Ansible Tower will go and retrieve those information, those keys, and then target your different servers or your different equipment.
Yeah, but Danny, so when we talk about Ansible Tower, we are talking about dollar. because I mean that is money.
Yeah, Ansible Tower has a license, but you have
Yeah,
the open source version called AWX.
exactly. That's what I wanted to ask. So if somebody now who doesn't have a budget, somebody who doesn't have a budget, and I decide to go to Ansible AWX because the tower needs money. What are some of the downsides? What will I miss in regard other than support? Other than support because I'm paying.
Say it, I've said it again.
So if I decide to, because I don't have a budget, I go to Ansible, I go with the AWX.
Yeah.
What am I going to miss as opposed to the guy who has money and is just paying for Ansible Tower, other than the support that I'm going to get from Red Hat?
Yeah, Ansible Tower, with Ansible Tower, of course, you get the support. The version of the code has been tested, proven, and then has followed a certain process, and then it is the compliant against what Red Hat has recommend for the way he should give the support. But if you are going to AWX and something happen, you need to address the community and your own skills. And that's it.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Those are all the questions that we had at the moment.
Yeah. So if there's more question, we will try to keep it very short and go for the a platform that I've started as well for the learning. It's a part of the Africa Cloud project, and then this one is not yet completed. And bear with me if something is not working as expected. It is a try. It's a try about how we can use automation to provide servers on demand for this workshop doing Ansible. So on this platform, Learn ifcloud.africa, I've tried to do some workshop where you can actually look for the yeah. So this is how the page will look like, and then you just need to register on the to click on automation, and then on automation you will have the curriculum, and then I think you have the lecture one called Ansible workshop. It can work on some machine, sometimes machine cannot work because I might not have enough resources to do the task, but I'll try to do it with you. So here it is, we try to keep it short as well. And you can retry it out if it doesn't working on your side. Then you have the scenario where you can actually run some command against a virtual machine that will run Ansible. So you can use Ansible to do action step by step, and then we will see the outcome. And by using the terminal and do whatever it is a terminal, I can say hello. It is a terminal. So you can use almost everything, but please don't use it to hack someone's machine. So this is not the idea behind. Yeah, I hope you all understand. And yeah, let's go. So yeah, to install Ansible, let's go to first to make sure that we are following the prerequisites. So the prerequisite to be sure that we are going to install Ansible using PIP, and then the PIP is okay, has been upgraded. So we install the let me see if I can increase the size for people who are not be able to. Yeah. You can only click on the command and execute it automatically. So you don't need to, either you can write it. So the better way of learning is almost to type yourself, but we will try to keep it very easy for everyone to just go ahead and just click on the action, and it will be a copy automatically on the terminal. Yeah, it can take a longer to install the Ansible. It is something also we can also do in the background on the machine provisioning, because behind it, of course, it is a virtual machine, but can be provisioned by using a pre-action to install by default Ansible. But I would like for you to see the installation by PIP yourself, not giving you only a machine where, okay, everything has been set up and everything is okay. So, but if you still have questions, do not hesitate to post it. I will try to answer. Yeah, now it is installing, and then once the machine, once the Ansible is installed, we are going to check the version of Ansible. Okay, successfully installed. Perfect. Now we can go and say, okay, we want to see the version of Ansible. This is the version of Ansible, as you can see here. This is the version of Ansible. And then once we are okay with that, we can say, okay, now let's go and do our proper, the proper configuration and work environment. So let's say, let's create a folder called Learn Ansible. You can see it here as well, created here on the shell itself. And then you cd this folder, and then now we are ready to start our work. Then you continue. Then we are going to do, first of all, the inventory. The inventory we will create a folder called inventory folder. And then inside this folder, we will use this input. I will just click on it. I will open it later here, just below, to show you exactly how it look like. So we are creating an inventory of a group called runner. And then the machine inside will be called controller node. And in this machine, we use the variables called Ansible connection. We say that this machine is in the machine itself. It is the connection that we to use to connect to this machine. It is local. So if it is a remote machine, we will use only the IP address over there, but we just need to say Ansible host, and then we specify the IP address or the full qualified domain name. And then also one item is also important is the Python version interpreter we are going to use. By default, Ansible will try to detect the version of the Python you want to use. But if it doesn't, you need to specify where to find the binary of your Python, your Python package. This is why I just specify the Python, because we are using Python 3. This is what we are recommending. And then this is how it looks like. So yeah, I think we are ready to launch our first other command called ping. Yeah, so we launch our first command ping, and then yeah, we have a success. So we have the pong, and then we are going to collect the facts on the local machine. Yeah, so on the controller node. So we can click on this machine, on this one, and then we have the fact collected. Those are the facts. The facts are the information related to the machine itself. Okay, hold on. Let me try to increase this one, or even to. Yeah, I think it is okay. I cannot do much. Yeah, this is information about the fact that of the machine. So you can see this almost the DNA of the machine, everything written in the machine, the IP address, the memory, the disk, the CPU, the file system, the operating system, the version, the minor version, the major version, almost everything on this machine. It is like the ID of the machine. And then if you are happy with that, we can say, okay, we can use the list. The list, this one, it is only to have the list of the machine that are available in my inventory. We have only one machine. This is the controller node. Right? So we move to the next scenario. Hold hold on, struggling. Yeah, good. And so the next one, it is about using the our Ansible config file. So the Ansible config file, it is, yeah, I just write it here. We can open it, the terminal, where it is only default inventory. This is this configuration file. This is where I'm going to tell Ansible to use by default the inventory file that I've created. So as I told you, there's a precedence of the file. It will start looking first on the local folder where the playbook is is running. If it's not, it will go to the user home directory. First is that the let's call it the environment variable. If it's not, to look at the folder where the playbook has been, is running. If it's not, go to the user home directory. If it's not, it will go to the global path etc ansible.cfg. So here we are going to tell him that, okay, just look at, this is the path of your inventory. So when we launch Ansible, we don't need now to specify the inventory again. It will go automatically and fetch for this inventory by default. So we can do it even here because we have specified if we remove the inventory and we hit, it should give the same output. Then we can use now again all our commands to without the inventory. Good. Now let's go to the next scenario. The next scenario is about creating our first playbook. Yeah, our first playbook will be, I want to install Apache server. This is my server. I want to run it on the host. And then this is the package I want to install, Apache 2, and then latest. Yeah, so yeah, we go. And then I can see the file of my playbook here. Now let's go to the next scenario. So before going further, I would like to check the syntax of my Apache server to see if everything is fine, if it's perfect. So the playbook the check doesn't retrieve any error. That means that my playbook is well. It has no mistake in my YAML configuration, no indentation error, and everything is fine. But now I can check. For those who are familiar with Debian, or Ubuntu, they will know how to collect information about the install packages. So this is a small action to check if the package Apache is installed on this machine. So as you can see, there's nothing here. It is not installed, or not installed. Now, this is action I've done directly on the machine. But if you want to do it in the cool way, using the Ansible add command, we can just use the module called shell and do the same thing. Yeah. And then you can, yeah, this is the output. And then now we are ready. There's nothing installed, and we can go for the playbook itself, Ansible playbook. Yeah, so it has started gathering information, start installation. It can take longer, but if you have questions, do not hesitate to call. To interrupt me or to let me know. But again, this one is only an introduction of Ansible. We are not going too depth in details. We try to keep it short, but very soon I'm going to unleash more courses, more features where actually more cool more courses will be available, more cool items as well, how we can do Ansible in the proper way, how we can use the best practice using Ansible. Yeah. Yeah, so we have our, let's call again our command. Yeah, now after our playbook, we can see that now the package has been installed and yeah, it is available. Yeah, now let's continue to let's extend our playbook. And then let's say, okay, after installing the Apache, we want to make sure that Apache is running, right? So we are going to do the to update the Apache our playbook, and we can still open it. Yeah, I think we need to close the yeah, this one first, because yeah, it will not, it's not reloading. Yeah, it was not reloading. And then now our playbook has been updated, and then let's call our web our extended playbook again. So yeah, so it's okay, nothing has changed, everything should be okay. And then let's see if our page is available or not. So we can curl and we can see that, okay, yeah, there's some information there. But if you want to see, I don't know if this one, yeah, this is how the Apache page will look like, as you can see. Yeah, I think this is where I'm a bit screwed, because my I'm using a full screen. Yeah. Okay. Now it is available as well. You can open the web to go to the web page, or you can even click on here, open the HTTP on the host, on the port 80 on the host one. It will give the same result. The same result.
Danny, just a question. This is Kevin. Is everyone also trying this on their own browsers? I just want to make sure they're okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. They have you had shared the URL, yes?
Yeah, I've shared the URL. It's learn dot. I can recall it here. Okay, hold on.
Okay, maybe you can just drop that on the chat so that anyone
Yeah.
who didn't see it can do it. Thanks.
Yeah, I will drop it. I'm in the chat. Okay, hold on. Yeah, it is here. It is learn.afcloud.africa.
Okay. So even I see someone has confirmed. Thanks, George. There's someone already trying. Thank you.
Okay. Learn.afcloud.africa now. Okay. Now if you want to add, now let's try to add a page on this, on our an index file. So as you can see, we don't have an index file. This what is showing is only a default page. So if you want to add an index, let's create an index file here. So we create an index file, and then we can open the index file to see, okay, now it is only Apache is running on fine thanks to Ansible. And then let's update our Ansible playbook to update the index file as well here. So we put here, let's close the Apache. YAML is not reloading. So we can reload this one to check and to see. Okay, now I have only the copy. So we are copying only the file. So once we are ready, we can curl. Or we can open again. What is this? Oh, holy. No, it's not working. Yeah, because have I run the playbook? Not yet. I don't think I've run this playbook. Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah, sorry. I didn't run the playbook. If the playbook, I mean, doesn't, I mean, it's not, so there's the file is not keeping copy. Yeah, now much better. And so we can curl again. And now, yeah, this is how it looks like. Or if we open the browser, yeah, you can say, yeah, Apache is running fine. Thanks to Ansible. And then we can go to the last step. Now we are going to change the copy module with something else called a template. Then let's copy now our template file. Ansible is running on fine on Ansible, thanks to Ansible. The web server we are going to use an inventory hostname. This is a variable, a fact that we are collecting. To do that, so we click on it. So it will reload it will create a new file called index.tlp, which will be here. And then we are going to update our Ansible playbook by replacing the copy with template. Yeah, after there's a typo here. I should say copy or template. Yeah, it is okay. It's okay. And then let's now run our playbook. I will not forget again. And then it will apply the configuration file. And now we can also check with curl. So we can say, okay, hello Apache or server running on node 2. If we open the terminal here, this is what we should see. And then I think we are done. We are done. And yeah, so I think, yeah. We are done with this small learning and small diving. I guess we are all on time. And then, yeah, if you have questions, you have inquiries, or yeah. So I'm ready to take all your feedback, all your question, and yeah.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you very much for this. There's one question on the chat from George. Is asking if this workshop will be available even after the webinar. Is it possible to?
Yeah. It's still available. You can log into the web page, website, and do the this workshop by based on your time, on your own availability. I will also upload this tutorial as a course on this platform, but it will be also free available. Nothing is for pay on this platform. It is a community platform I'm trying to put in, and then invite you all to, if you want to contribute. Yeah. So the idea is to give you opportunity. The idea of collaboration, if you want to contribute by giving your time, your experience on building some courses, some trainings, or some idea you have and you want us to work on it and make it a success. Yeah, why not? The idea is to build a community, as well as what we have already done. We are already doing with the KeNOG, bring something where people actually can do some hands-on and do some cool stuff about the cloud computing, the automation, not only everything related to the IT.
Thanks, Danny, and it's looking really good. Good job with the design of the land.af cloud.africa. Looks really nice.
Thank you. Yeah, behind it is a virtual machine. It is a cloud solution. Actually behind it is Kubernetes. It is virtual machine. It is Docker. Yeah, it is all those technologies behind. It is Ansible for the provisioning, And so as you can see, we can use Ansible to provision infrastructure to teach Ansible.
Thanks, Danny. Any other questions or comments for Danny? So he's confirmed the lab will be available. You can access that still. And I shared the slides he's using on the Signal channel, and he'll also update them on the website. So you can get them there. Any other comments or questions for Danny? And maybe based on that, we can see if we can wrap this one up early. Okay, I don't see any questions or comments on the chat. So let me thank you again, Danny, for taking time to share your expertise on Ansible. A virtual round of applause to you.
Thank you.
I think this has been very useful, and Danny's contacts are there if you want to reach him. Danny, I'm sure we'll be in touch later on. So KeNOG is a growing community. We are trying to encourage more people to, be involved in the areas of networking and security and automation and so on. So trainings like these ones are very important. So thank you very much for leading this, and I'm sure we're going to engage again in the future on your platform.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me over. And yeah, thank you for, yeah, it's an honor for me to share this with you guys. And yeah, look forward to have an next step and see more people engage in this vision.
Great. Thanks, Danny. So I think we can stop here. Thank you all for attending. This was recorded, so we'll share the recording for those who didn't make it. And see you all on the Signal group and the KeNOG mailing list. Have a good rest of the day. Thanks again, Danny.
Okay, bye.
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 Thanks. Bye.